can do more than one take. Hey everybody out there in the internet world, it's the revolutionary socialist. I'm back after my stint as homelessness in Los Angeles and living in a Los Angeles homeless shelter. Los Angeles is really nothing but it's an open air prison, mental institution, and ghetto. And I'm so glad to be out of there. I'm back in my home state of Texas now. I'm kind of live out in the country here near the beach, a little town called Harlingen. Anyway, as usual, you know what I mean? I want to try to explain some of this stuff that's going on in the world right now to, the 5 people who are going to watch this video. But that's okay, you know what I mean? Whatever. Um, but what happened was, like, when I was young and when I was growing up, and even in my 20s when I raised a family, you know what I mean? My mom never worked. Now, of course, we know women work. They're teachers, secretaries, nurses, and stuff, but traditional roles. And you had male traditional roles, production and manufacturing. What happened was that, and you could look it up, the Powell memo and the Chamber of Commerce, is they started actually giving lessons, teaching people, how to outsource your corporation and your company to China for cheap labor. And so that's really what happened. Our typical male job roles, production and manufacturing, like I used to work in, and what allowed me to raise a family and everything, and buy a house and everything. Well, now they used to be 60% of our economy. Now they're 6%. Those jobs aren't coming back. Men, by and large, and a lot of, especially young men, are online, and they'll tell you they have been displaced from the workforce. They really have. They've been completely displaced from this workforce. And a lot of people don't understand. Now you have women who are more like 50% of the workforce, and women think, well, this is really all great. You know what I mean? We're in the workforce, you know what I mean? But it's really not that great because they're using you for cheap labor. And you already know, I mean, women constantly complain, oh, women are paid less than men. So while it has been seemingly good, it's really not. And the jobs that are left over for men are not, they're service sector jobs. They're not really jobs that allow a man to buy a home and start a family. And here's, everybody's complaining about this. You know what I mean? They're people are getting dogs and cats instead of kids. You know what I mean? And they're not starting families. So that's, a great deal of what's happened to our economy, and then also combined with the internet. And so you have all these men now who are unemployed or underemployed, homeless, living in your car, crashing on somebody's couch. And you have women now who have, some of the jobs that they have a house and a place to live and stuff like that and everything. And they're absolutely demanding that men, you know what I mean, or, that you have a job and you have a house and you have a car and you have all this stuff. But it's like it goes back to the jobs that are available, and I know I already know I have applied to so many jobs, and if you're a guy like me, 54 years old, they're going to hire some young chick, in these service sector jobs. They're like, oh, well, we can pay her less anyway, you know what I mean? And he's over the hill. So that's really what's going on. And on the other side of this thing is that we now have women. We have the internet. You have all these women who are posting pictures on the internet, and they think they're celebrities. They really do. In their mind, in their own mind, they're a celebrity. Really what you are is a self-entitled, privileged narcissist, running people down, poverty shaming people, especially men, and denying them. You know what I mean? You think we're just trash to be discarded. We don't care. Blah 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 blah. You know, calling every man, trying to generalize every man as a rapist, and say, "Oh, all you want sex." But you wouldn't even be here if some man didn't want to have sex with your mother. You wouldn't even be here on this planet. You know, and here we are being demonized for, you know, something that's completely normal. And it's just absolutely ridiculous and stupid. The whole world's gone stupid, really. The economy, the social part of it, you know, and I don't know what you're going to do. You know, I mean, I don't know how, unless, you know, I don't think those jobs are ever coming back. Unless we can figure out some way to, you know, and a reason that there's been a big war against, you know, the male workforce from Wall Street, coming from Wall Street, and these corporate regimes, is because they don't want a male workforce that can be a male fighting force that can put a stop to them. And that's the whole reason that a lot of people don't understand that the media, which the corporate regimes own, they demonize socialism. And the reason is because they know that socialists are people who will take up guns, take up arms, and stop them and put a stop to their fascism, because that's what's really going on here. This is the biggest redistribution of wealth. This is even worse than the Gilded Age. You know what I mean? You have billionaires, you know, and then you have, you know, all these billionaires, and then you have all these homeless people. And if we don't get some sort of armed resistance going on, we're going to be eternally stuck in this, you know, this recycling narrative and system of neo-fascism, where, you know, and people are complaining, oh, the government's taking all my money. No, your employer's taking all your money. They're stealing all your surplus labor. And it actually goes all the way back to Plato and Aristotle, who actually said that the oligarchs would keep the workforce poor, keep them busy, so that they can't engage in politics directly. And it even goes back to Carl Sagan, who said that you're going to be in a service economy, and where people aren't even allowed to challenge politicians, and challenge, which they've got, the police are going to come after you if you try to challenge them. But a lot of people don't even understand the issues now. They don't even understand. They're so brainwashed by this, you know, this corporate media. They actually think the solutions are the opposite. They think, oh, let's just hire more police instead of, you know, stop and sending all this war money to foreign countries, and just put people in houses. You know, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? At some point, the system's going to break down, and I can guarantee you, it's going to go south quick. It's going to be a civil war. I can tell you right now, it's going to be a civil war. Anyway, I don't want this video to run too long, because you know, they don't like to upload long videos. They want to keep your attention span short, like all these, you know, goofball influencers now. You know what I mean? And that's another thing Carl Sagan said. Everything down to 7-second sound bites, reels, stories, stupid stuff like that. Just dumbing down people. People, you know, they don't even want to read books anymore. Or even an article, you know, explaining something. Maybe, you know what you need to do? You need to read Einstein's Why Socialism. That's what you ought to read. Anyway, I'm going to get up, see if I can get off here and see if I can upload a video. And I'll start making some videos again now that I'm not homeless, you know, and I'm in a better place where I can actually make some decent videos. Anyway, until next time, from the Revolutionary Socialist, later.